We begin today with live pictures from EarthCam showing Tampa, Florida, where we're beginning to see just the outer bands of Hurricane Milton impact the state. Now, while it was making its way across the Gulf of Mexico, mass evacuations clogged state highways, and those bracing the storm prepared heavily. Governor Ron DeSantis had a warning for all Floridians this morning. Take a listen.
So now we're bearing down to where the storm is going to arrive within the next 24 hours. You still have time to evacuate if you are in an evacuation zone, particularly if you're in Manatee, Sarasota, Charlotte, those areas. I mean, this track can bounce around. It's not guaranteed it's going to hit there. A lot of the solutions have it going there. You have time to do that. Now, conditions aren't going to be great today. I would say that the roads and the interstates, they are flowing. We've waived tolls. We've done all that so people can do. But the best option would probably be just to evacuate within your own county to one of the shelters. All those counties have multiple shelters that are open. There's a lot of space in those shelters right now, and certainly it would be safe to do a very short evacuation, tens of miles, rather than get on the interstate and go.
Governor Ron DeSantis telling his residents there is still time to get out. Now, keep in mind, this is happening less than 2 weeks after Hurricane Helene ravaged the very same area. In Treasure Island, nearly 9 miles west of St. Petersburg, debris and destruction still left in the wake of Helene. 4 people were killed here, in part because first responders just couldn't get to them during the storm. Police have closed the bridges to enter the city and other barrier island communities. People can still leave, and officials urge them to do so. Now, Jess, you're keeping an eye on this storm right now. What time is it expected to make landfall?
Late tonight, early tomorrow morning. That's when we're going to see the worst of this impact the Tampa Bay area, just south close to Sarasota and across the state as it sweeps its way over Florida back out into the Atlantic. Right now, the National Weather Service has issued tropical storm warnings, hurricane warnings, storm surge warnings, and flood warnings for the entire state as they're gearing up for one of the strongest storms that they have seen in history just along the Tampa Bay area. And those outer bands are already starting to impact those communities as we wake up this morning and head out the door. For those who have not evacuated yet, evacuate now, but keep in mind those roads are already going to start being wet, and you're going to notice some gustier conditions as the system's starting to creep its way in quick. Now it's starting to gain some momentum. Now moving to the northeast around 17 miles per hour. Yesterday, just around this time, it was slowly moving around 9 miles per hour. So as it gains its momentum, it's also holding on tight to 145 mile per hour winds. It was just about an hour ago. It was at 155 mile per hour winds, which is 2 miles below a Category 5 status. It's currently at a Category 4, and it's expected to stay Category 4 status as it makes its way into landfall into the overnight hours tonight. This is an update just within the past 10 minutes. Now it's going to hit at a Category 3 with max sustained winds close to around 125 miles per hour into the overnight hours tonight, early morning hours tomorrow. It sweeps just south of Orlando, still at a Category 1 status, and it moves its way out into the Atlantic, where storm surge is the big concern, not only for our coastal communities along the Gulf, but now as it makes its way over into the Daytona Beach area just south of that, pushing back out into the Atlantic. Here's our storm surge numbers right now. The biggest concern right now is for communities from Port Charlotte all the way down into communities near Sarasota too. Now we continue to track north areas like the Tampa Bay. Anywhere up to around 12 feet is expected, but we can see above 15 feet as we head into the overnight hours tonight. I'll have more on that coming up in a bit, and we'll pinpoint those communities not only on the Gulf Coast, but also for our friends on the opposite side as well, Liz.
Yeah, the whole state is going to be impacted by this. Jess, thank you. Now, nearby in St. Petersburg, the streets are, as you can see, pretty barren. The video shows Central Avenue, normally one of the busiest roads in the city, now empty with no one in sight, just plain boarded up businesses. And nearly 25 miles northeast, a similar scene in Tampa. That's where we find CBS News correspondent Jonathan Vigliotti. Good morning, Jonathan. Thank you so much for being with us. We know it's going to get worse. What can you tell us about what's happening there right now?
Yeah, good morning to you, Liz. This is just the beginning. We're starting to feel the outer bands of Milton. You've got some light rain. The wind is starting to pick up. This will get worse as we get into the afternoon hours. Around 9 o'clock this evening up to 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's the window where we're expecting landfall to happen. I can tell you, though, already with just this light rain, there is some piling of light water and flooding here because the storm drains here clogged from the remnants and the debris from Hurricane Helene, which hit here just 2 weeks ago. In fact, people were busy and in the process of cleaning up from that hurricane when they had to stop everything, drop everything, and evacuate. About 3 million people in this area under a mandatory evacuation. The mayor here in Tampa using very stark terms when describing the threat to life, saying, if you stay, you will die. So what are the threats? We've been talking about it all morning long. Storm surge, anywhere from 10 to possibly 15 feet of water. So what does that look like? You look behind me at some of the homes here along the water. The first story would be covered by that amount of water. Then, of course, Milton's going to bring a lot of rainfall, as much as 16 inches. That will lead to flash floods. Then 120 mile per hour sustained winds. So then you talk about the debris from Helene, because this is a unique threat here. We traveled yesterday throughout the community. We're talking piles and piles, thousands of them, of debris stacked up, in some cases 2 stories high. When you add that wind, you can imagine all of that debris being picked up and tossed around like deadly projectiles. The good news is a lot of people have heeded the warnings to evacuate. We saw Interstate 75 yesterday, the day before, bumper to bumper traffic as people are trying to get out. I spoke with one family. She traveled 16 hours from Tampa to Tallahassee, a drive that should have taken 4 hours. I spoke with another family stranded at the airport, Tampa International. It closed its doors yesterday. Orlando closing today. They were stranded. They were driving to Atlanta. A lot of people traveling great distances to escape this storm. We heard from Governor DeSantis saying there is still time. That window, though, is quickly closing. I would not feel safe driving around here in about 2 to 3 hours. The governor mentioning a very good point, though. If you can't make that long haul, there are evacuation sites throughout cities here on the West Coast to go to. Liz?
Yeah, there are options there, Jonathan. Have you seen anyone preparing to hunker down, refusing to leave their homes?
Yes, we have heard from families that are choosing to stay. In fact, one family to the south of us on Sanibel Island choosing to ride out this storm. They're choosing to do so based on what happened with Hurricane Helene, but that's a very different storm. I'll give you some perspective to that. Hurricane Helene hit about 200 miles north of us. It brought 7 feet of storm surge here. That destroyed many homes along the coastal communities. Sanibel Island, a barrier island. If you're staying there because of what happened with Hurricane Helene, you need to make up your mind now and evacuate, because this storm could bring 15 feet of storm surge, more than double what happened with Helene. That is not survivable. It's why the mayor here in Tampa, I don't think she's overstating it. If you stay in some of these low-lying areas, she says you will die. You certainly won't be able to get help for a very long time, Liz.
Yeah, and that's key. If you are stranded, there's nobody going to be able to help you to get out of there. All right, Jonathan Vigliotti on the ground there in Florida for us. Stay safe.